Hi, welcome to my channel. Or if you're a returning subscriber, hello again. It's so nice to see you back here for another video. I hope you're all having an amazing day today. My name is Tess Lark and this is an art and beauty channel, so if those are videos you're interested in, make sure you're subscribed because I'm here for you every single week. And this week, I am so excited for today's project. I think it turned out so beautiful. It's the biggest resin piece that I've made to date, and I will show you this beautiful resin geode mirror. I mean, look at her. She's gorgeous. So I've been seeing these resin geode mirrors popping up all over my timelines on social media, and one of my friends shot me over a TikTok of somebody making one of these mirrors and basically was like, hey, you know, I know you can make this, and asked me for my address so she could send me a mirror. So she commissioned this piece for a Christmas present, and I was so excited that I pretty much got started right away. And I knew I wanted to pop on my camera and show you guys the process, and if anybody's interested in a custom one of these, I will go ahead and link my Etsy below. It is fragilebeings.com, and there you can send me a message and we can sort something out. So let's just hop right into this video. But before we do, if you do like this video, make sure to give it a like. It not only helps out my channel a whole lot, but it also lets me know that I'm making content that you want to see from me. All right, let's craft. So I started this project out by roughly taping off part of my frame. If I made this again, I would go ahead and take the mirror out of the frame. And then I just have some crystals here, and I'm going to be using hot glue to attach the crystals where I want them. And as always, I'll go ahead and list all the materials that I use for this project down below. So if anybody is curious about trying this project for themselves, all of that info will be down there in the description for you. And the next step is to mix up my resin, and I'm using a 50-50 epoxy resin. So half of that is going to be hardener, the other half is resin, and I'm going to take my time stirring that resin thoroughly, making sure that I'm scraping the sides and the bottom of the container. And I'm going to continue to mix for about 5 minutes or so, and I'm also mixing a little bit slower. I sped up the footage a bit. But you want to mix in a way that you're not going to be incorporating too many air bubbles into your mixture. And then after it's fully mixed, I'll let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then with my heat gun, just pop any of those bubbles that have formed on the surface. And then I'll be dividing this resin out into some smaller containers and mixing my colors. And for this project, I will be using Pinata colors. They're alcohol inks. I've got 2 different greens and also a white that I'm using. And then again with my colors, I'm going to mix them up super thoroughly and then let them sit for a few minutes just to allow any air bubbles to come up to the surface so I can pop them really easily with my heat gun. I'm also mixing up some Pinata colors brass, and that gives a really shiny gold appearance. And then can't forget about our gold glitter, and I'll be adding that as well. Oh yeah, and so this is editing me here, and I'm just remembering that something kind of weird happened the first time that I mixed up this forest green by Pinata Colors. I think maybe I added too much color pigment, I'm not positive, but I swear when I was mixing it, it turned like a dark blue. Like it was like a dark blue, it was not green. See that on the side? That's blue, right? I'm not crazy. I should have waited and see what happened when it cured, but I was like kind of weirded out, so I added a little white. Try to see if that was going to change it, but it just made it, you know, more blue. So I did end up mixing this a second time, and it was like a truer dark green, but I don't know if anyone has an explanation for why this happened. Please let me know, because that's blue, right? That's blue. Look at that. That's blue. So second attempt on the forest green here, and I just added a little bit because I really didn't want it to be blue again. So just a little bit of that green, and it was still pretty blue. So then I went ahead and added some white, and I ended up adding more of that lime green color in just to get it to be more of a true green. It's so strange. If anybody has used the forest green pinata colors before and it starts out blue but then cures green, please let me know, because what? And then the next step is to very carefully put a layer of white resin down around these large crystals, because I do have some, they're called crystal shards or glass shards, that I'm gonna go ahead and put down below to give it that like rocky, crystally geode sort of appearance. And when you're working with resin, just remember that you don't need too much or like a really thick layer, because it is pretty viscous, so it's going to take a while to spread out and end up where it's going to end. So here I'm just pouring my crystal chips or glass chips onto where I've poured the resin and cleaning up that line a little bit. And then right on top of that layer, I'll be going in with some finer crystal chips in a gold color. And then just taking some of that gold resin that I poured up earlier right on top of that. And next I'm gonna add a little bit more of those chips just to keep it nice and chunky, because I thought it was looking a little bit too smooth when I added that resin. And then I'm going to go ahead and start layering my colors. And then I'm going to use my heat gun to start blooming those colors out and mixing them together and getting some cool cells and texture and just kind of blending everything together. And then I'm just making a little tweak here and there, and after that I will go ahead and let this cure overnight so that it's ready for the second layer. And I'm sorry for the change in lighting. I was impatient, so I ended up working on it like later in the night, probably like 10 or 11 hours later, so it wasn't fully cured, but it was cured enough, TM. So here I'm just mixing up some gold to add gold highlights. And I'm trying to keep this gold glitter mixture pretty thick because I don't want it to run everywhere. I want it to end up being like lines throughout the piece. So just a little bit of resin, enough so it can move around, but not too much, not too liquidy. Next, I'm going to transfer that gold glitter resin mixture into a little sandwich baggie, which I'll be using as a piping bag. So I'm just going to gather all of that resin to one corner, twist it up a little bit, and cut off the tip to use it, again, like a piping bag. And then after my layer of gold has cured, I'm going to go in with my Deco Color Premium Paint Pen in a gold, and I'm just going to go ahead and reinforce some of those gold lines and add a couple thinner, smaller detail lines. And then finally, it is time to top coat this baby. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour a very thin layer of clear resin over the entire piece, just to make sure that any loose crystal is fastened down, and also make sure that that gold paint pen isn't going to chip over time, and just give the overall appearance of the piece a nice glossy finish. And then I'll just hit it once more with my heat gun to pop any remaining bubbles. And then I let my top coat cure overnight, and it is ready to send off to its new home. Alright, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did make it all the way to the end, thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. It helps out my channel a ton. And if you did make it all the way to the end, leave me a green heart emoji in the comments so that I know that it's real. Also, if you want to see me make this project again, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to make more of these. And if anybody is interested in purchasing one for themselves, just go ahead and shoot me a message on my Etsy and I will get back to you very soon. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, but again, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!